Hey everybody, it's Vladimir here, and if you are preparing for the Professional Scrum Master Level 1 exam, you are in the right place. Yes, you would have to understand the entire Scrum Framework, but it's not a secret that on your exam you would have to answer many questions about the Scrum Roles. In this video, I want to focus on the Product Owner role and share with you what you need to know to feel confident on your exam. I've already created such a video, by the way, on the Scrum Master. For the Scrum Master role, a link will appear on top of the screen, on top of the video. And if you find these videos helpful, do not forget to subscribe. Let's get started. I will first introduce to you the official definition in the Scrum Guide, and then I will expand the concept so you can grasp them better. The product owner is responsible for maximizing the value of the product resulting from work of the development team. How this is done may vary widely across organizations, Scrum teams, and individuals. The product owner is the sole person responsible for managing the product backlog. Product backlog management includes clearly expressing product backlog items, ordering the items in the product backlog to best achieve goals and missions, optimizing the value of the work the development team performs, ensuring that the product backlog is visible, transparent, and clear to all, and shows what the Scrum team will work on next, and ensuring the development team understands items in the product backlog to the level needed. The product owner may do the above work or have the development team do it. However, the product owner remains accountable. The product owner is one person, not a committee. The product owner may represent the desires of a committee in the product backlog, but those wanting to change a product backlog item's priority must address the product owner. For the product owner to succeed, the entire organization must respect his or her decisions. The product owner's decisions are visible in the content and ordering of the product backlog. No one can force the development team to work from a different set of requirements. Alright, this is what the Scrum Guide says, which, by the way, you will have to read a few times, and of course, not just read it, but try to understand it. Now, the most important thing we have to remember here is that the product owner is a value maximizer. They maximize the value that's being delivered each sprint. And I know the term value is abstract, and it would be best if we simplify it here. So think of value as money or revenue. Yes, some people would say, okay, Vladimir, but what about non-profit organizations? In this case, value and money are not the same thing. I would agree. Yes, we do not always measure value with money, but in many cases, in the majority of cases, value and money would be the same thing. For example, the product owner writes down 2 PBIs, product backlog items. The first one is good to have, and it will not bring much revenue. On the other hand, the second PBI is first much faster to do, and second, it will bring a lot of revenue. Now, all things being equal here, the product owner would choose the second item that will bring the more revenue to be done first, and after that, the development team will do the second item that is just nice to have, but it will not bring a lot of revenue. And why is that? This is because the product owner maximizes the value the development team delivers each sprint. And this is why the product owner is concerned with ROI, return on investment. This is just an example to illustrate the value maximizer aspect. Usually the product owner orders the items in the product backlog based on value, but you should know this is not a rule, and it is not always the case. The next point is that the product owner has excellent business knowledge. They understand the product, the market, the needs of the end users. He or she is considered as the voice of the customer. The product owner is responsible for engaging with stakeholders, the customers. The product owner owns the product backlog, which, as you remember, is one of the 3 Scrum artifacts. The other 2 are the sprint backlog and the increment. The product backlog is never complete, and it requires refinement. And this is another responsibility of the product owner, product backlog refinement. This is not a Scrum event like sprint planning, for example, or daily Scrum, sprint review, and so on. No, this is an activity that can happen at any point during the sprint. And there is a rule in the Scrum Guide that we should be aware of. Refinement usually consumes no more than 10% of the capacity of the development team. However, product backlog items can be updated at any time by the product owner or at the product owner's discretion. And now many people got confused here. The guide talks about 10% of the capacity of the development team only. This is not combined. It's not 10% of the product owner's time. No, the product owner can spend as much time as they want refining the product backlog. Next, only the product owner has the authority to cancel a sprint. When does that happen? This happens when the sprint goal becomes obsolete. The purpose of a sprint is to create a potentially releasable increment. And I want to point your attention to the word potentially because the product owner might decide to release it or not. He or she might decide to release 2 or 3 increments at a time, depending on the business goals, for example, or many other factors. Simply said, only the product owner decides if or when to release the increment. The product owner has to collaborate closely with the development team. He or she must clarify, explain product backlog items. If the development team does not understand an item, what do? They go to the product owner and they ask him or her, of course, for explanation. And if this is not the case, we have a problem. And let me remind you one of the 12 principles that stand behind the Agile Manifesto. Business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. Now, the product owner, yes, we talk about internally here, but the product owner is a business-oriented person. Okay, the development team consists of 3 to 9 developers, so communication is key here. Can the product owner be a part-time job? The answer is yes. So one person can act as a product owner for 2 products. That's okay. But here is the important part. One product has 1 product backlog and 1 product owner. This is a rule that never changes and it will help you answer many questions on your exam. And finally, the product owner is deeply involved in sprint planning and any type of planning for that matter, such as release planning, product planning, and portfolio planning, and so on. But the last 3, they are not official Scrum events, so only sprint planning is an official Scrum event, so don't get confused here. Okay, so far so good. Now I want to do a quick recap of the most important points, and feel free, of course, to watch this video again, or at least the recap, because I really believe it will be helpful, it will be useful to you. The product owner is a value maximizer. They are responsible for managing the product backlog. They own the product backlog. The product owner is one person, not a committee. To succeed, everyone in the organization must respect his or her decisions. Both the development team and the product owner do product backlog refinement. This activity doesn't take more than 10% of the developer's time, but it takes significantly more of the product owner's time. The product owner communicates with stakeholders. He or she is considered as the voice of the customer. Customer requirements, requests are reflected in the product backlog. Only the product owner has the authority to cancel a sprint. The product owner has to collaborate closely with the development team. This is critical. The product owner is a business person. They have exceptional business knowledge about the product and the market of that product. Just like the Scrum Master, the product owner can be a part-time job or a full-time job. If 2 products are being developed, there can be 1 person acting as a product owner for both products, as well as there can be 2 product owners, 2 different people, 1 for each product. This derives from the fact that the product owner can work part-time. But the rule is this: 1 product has 1 product backlog and 1 product owner. Now, if you are preparing for the Professional Scrum Master Level 1 exam, or you just want to master the Scrum Framework, be sure to check out my online course called Scrum Master Certification Training and PSM1 Sample Exams. There you will find 3.5 hours of video content plus 160 high-quality sample exam questions. Go to the first link in the description. If you have found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video helping you master the Scrum Framework. My name is Vladimir Raykov. Thank you for watching. Stay purposeful, and I will see you in the next one.